And yeah, slavery also works into the the different strata. So I don't have slaves, but if we did, you can set like slave rights to actually be fairly high, I think. Utopian abundance. Must be egalitarian. Plus 20 happiness, that's huge. But that worker upkeep, 1 consumer good per worker, that's very, very expensive. I think generally... Yeah, academic privilege, slaves actually get, or actually require consumer goods for upkeep. Well, utopian abundance, social wealth, oh no, decent conditions, oh no, they also cost it there. Basic subsistence, slaves don't cost anything. But sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Quill was saying today... Hang on. Came here to learn about the trade mechanics. Do you think you will do a bit of trading? I already have been. In fact, you're about to see a bunch of trade being done because I'm fighting pirates and I'll need to re-engineer how my trade protection works. Quill was saying today's videos how people need to remember you will go over your admin caps, just how the game becomes a dance of managing the average effectively, and from watching you I kind of agree. Yeah, I'm quite far over my cap now. I'm can't do maths. I'm 16 over the cap, and that 16 is already translating into 7% higher tech costs and 12% higher tradition costs. Not to mention the economic costs of leader upkeep and leader costs, although that I can actually manage. Remember, these numbers are wrong because I'm currently having pirate fights. So once the pirates are dealt with, my consumer goods will be positive, my energy is going to be more positive. I think I'm still in the negative there, I'm still working on that one. Oh, you were being ironic. Fair enough. Ancient life pod. As an abandoned life pod was detected in the close orbit of Chukov 6A, it is covered in scorch marks, presumably from when the pod's mothership exploded, and preliminary scans suggest it was built more than 5,000 years ago. The crew of the Johnny 5 managed to open the pod, revealing the withered remains of a reptilian alien clad in a resplendent uniform. Clutched in one of the claws was a small picture of another individual from the same race, probably a mate or a revered leader. Cool. You and you merge. Non-aggression, Viking, Inc. and Quapulchi Interplanetary Union. So the crime lords, making friends. How very uncrime lordy. Oh, because of my title is trade, trade, and more trade. Did I mention trade? Also more trade. There is an ascension perk for increasing the cap, I think. Yeah, and there's also technology which allows you to do it. And the penalties are so bitter for me at the moment because I'm a corporation. So part of the corporation thing is we get a higher admin cap, but if we go over it, it's 50% more empire size penalty. We have shields. We could also get shield capacitors. Interesting. Colony development speed 50%. I don't think it's particularly worthwhile, but I'm going to go for the shield capacitors. Ripper autocannons or destroy hull hit points. That would be nice, but I'm going to go for the autocannons.
Research platform lost.
Oh, yeah, not you. Are you my full fleet? Yes, you are. Go fight them. 800 against 800. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do my fleet upgrades yet. So this could be a slight problem. Any buildings available yet? No. And also because of my food shortage, I can't necessarily boost population, although I am going to do it here. In fact, all of them are still active. So we have the growth and courage, which costs 1,000 food, but that's part of the reason we've been focusing food production so heavily. But we do get that plus 25% population growth. And I've been really stacking those growth mods, so my population ratchets up pretty quickly. I hope there's a repeatable tech for increasing the cap. I think there is. Because you'll need it. Districts cost empire size, and that's really what's biting me, is because I have very... okay, so, sorry, rephrase that slightly. A lot of people have been saying that corporations are supposed to build high rather than wide. I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with that, because districts also require empire size. Although it is only 1 empire size per district rather than the 2 for a system, for example. So playing wide, you can have a lot of systems. Systems count for 2 empire size, so yeah, maybe. I totally forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, you can see problems definitely rearing themselves. And when we got raided by Shenrir, a lot of people were saying that Shen was struggling with the empire size cap because the tech cost was crippling his technology. I have a lot of tech output. Like, we are surprisingly technological. So I'm not too concerned about that. But it is going to become a problem, I think.
Upscaling complete.
Sergei has got unemployment. That's just because someone's refusing to be demoted. Speaking of demotions, we got the demotion thing already. So demotions are 50% quicker. And then we just need the Bulwark of Harmony for the ship build and the ship fire rate in defensive wars. And we're not allowed to declare war, so all of my wars are going to be defensive. Unless, of course, I get into a federation, which is possible.
A system has been surveyed.
Ooh, Krakow was quite nice. You're still going over there. And we still need to kill these sodding aliens. Well, actually, once we've dealt with the influx of piracy to Nostia, we're very close to Heldelon, so we can just get our upgrades done over there fairly easily. Okay, you're still on a troll, that's fine. The measured pounding observed from orbit is the motion of immense and ancient geothermal extractors breathing their last. Built and then abandoned at some point in the distant past, the vast batteries of disintegrating machinery have been pumping up superheated fluids from the planet's core ever since. Their storage capacitors are all broken or leaking, but some energy can be siphoned from them. 1,000 energy credits. Hello! And Tuna has, wow, finished all of the anomalies in that region. Impressive. I thought there was still some over here. Well, we do have a bunch of research projects that we seem to have just blitzed past. So, are there any in my territory? That's going to be the first question. Well, in fact, let's go to the sit log. Anomalies. Okay, there are still a couple of anomalies for you to do. Now, this is kind of where I really wish you could just see these on the map. Just ping them on the map or something. Unfortunately, when you go to it, zooms all the way in, and that's just slow. See, that's a mile away, so I don't want to start with that one. Let's turn that off, so the map is less cluttered. Alright, there's one over there. There's several down here. I guess we'll go and... Oh, we can't get through Nostia, so just go ahead and do that. It's fine. Everything's fine. You can't be a fanatic egalitarian and be a corporation. Oh, okay. HNMS, that is His Netherlands Highness's ship. Because obviously we're the Dutch, because we're uber traders. Like, we've taken basically every trade modifier I could find. Okay, so we can now get planetary capitals. This is a huge deal. They are super expensive in minerals, crikey. They do have a fair bit of upkeep, but we can get another executive, and executives are super powerful. More unity, trade value, and amenities. And it also produces more amenities, which we definitely need in the capitals. Kaito Revitalization Chambers. This is a super medical position. See, that sounds nice in theory, but that does use a strategic resource, which are quite valuable because I want to get more tech out of them. And also I'm not sure that I want quite that much growth speed, because then you'll just outpace my ability to produce the relevant upgrades. Fleet Academy increases ship starting experience. Anchorages provide +2 naval capacity with a naval logistics office. That sounds really good. Let's get that. Alright, Heldelond. Next month, right? Yes. Next month we can upgrade it. voices are all for corporations. No, that's not true. There's one for workers. Social welfare, I think unemployed pops produce unity. I think that's the egalitarian one, not the social welfare. Social welfare is a species modifier. And please do remind me to change that welfare when we've dealt with the pirates. Oh no, you're right. Unemployed pops have normal happiness and produce unity. Meanwhile, in Utopian Abundance, unemployed pops have normal happiness, produce unity, and research. Come on, Bacon Killer, let's fight this fight. Although, I've just realised... Well, actually, they're fighting the space whales, who is fighting back and doing a fair amount of damage. They've actually lost like half of their fleet doing this. What I wanted to double check was what your setup was. We've got loads of armour, which we tear through because we're using lasers, and you're using mass drivers, which tear through shields. So we're going to suffer more casualties fighting these guys, but we're also going to kill them pretty quickly. Which is why I really need to do my retrofit. I just haven't been able to afford it yet. And more to the point, I've had my fleet just being busy for too long. Come on, let's go. You're going to go and destroy that mining camp, aren't you? Yep. That's fine, it's keeping you busy for a while. Rivalry has been ended, the Ubarak Unity and the Viking Holdings Inc. So, Mike Prime, you now have access to more agricultural districts. You have a lot of jobs and not enough housing. You have an awful lot of jobs. Might even be worth building a housing district here before we do the extra farming. I don't understand why my food production's gone so bad so suddenly. Have I seen Mutant Year Zero? No. Is that a game? Yes. Oh, that one! Yeah, I have seen that. I haven't played it, but I've heard of it. It's kind of like XCOM, isn't it? Turn-based, tactical, but more of an RPG. Yeah, I have heard of that. Seen the trailers for it. Alright, the warships are here.
Mining platform lost.
Mining platforms are being destroyed, but that's fine. That's just going to give the
Station engaged.
constructors a little bit of work to do. Then we just need to destroy the pirate platform. And job's done. Jobs are good, boss. Right, so Bacon Killer Fleet, you need to go and upgrade. Do it. Actually, no, don't. Because I just remembered that we have some new technologies, do we not? Like level 3 shielding. So the Crier. We're going to make this the Crier 2. And we're going to upgrade the shields to level 3s. And we also have access to autocannon now. I thought we did. So right now the destroyers are using mass drivers because they have a longer range. They're also a medium weapon. I'm going to change your role to picket. I'm going to make the blue laser your medium weapon. And then I'm going to give you auto cannons. And the destroyers are going to be close range smashers. You can still get by with a level 2 fusion reactor, which is going to be a lot cheaper. We don't have better armor yet, so Cryo 2s and Snikia 3s. You are going to be mostly autocannon at this point because I really like autocannons, and also plasma throwers because plasma throwers eat through armor and hull. Actually, autocannons also do hull. No, yeah, plasma thrower is actually a really good choice. Autocannons and plasma. They're short range. Plasma throwers don't have the best tracking, so we may struggle a little bit against high armor corvettes. We'll see. And we're ship fire rate and evasion. The tracking could help. We already have a lot of evasion. Because the autocannon tracking is already excellent. What's the blue laser tracking like? Oh, actually theirs is only 50%. Oh, small plasma thrower is even lower. So yeah, I'm going to take the tracking from the combat computer to help the plasma thrower. The autocannon should just be able to land a lot of very solid hits. We can afford one level 3. With the current reactor setup. I like it. So, in the Bacon Killer fleet, we would like no regular Snikers, no Cryers. I want to retrofit those to Cryer 2s, retrofit those to Sniker 3s. And then the one frigate. Price is just going up and up and up. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is sort out what the hell is going on with my trade right now, because we are being pirated a lot. An awful lot. So, pirates are there. They're there. Actually, Kalajam pirate suppression we can deal with ourselves. By just adding a gun to the starbase here. Or a hangar bay even. In fact, let's do that the other way around. Let's get the hangar bay up first. And then the trade hub. And let's go back to this. That's going to protect all the trade along this. You're suffering a little bit here. So, Poet or Larsman. Larsman can get a hangar. That'll sort yours. Alright, the problem lies between these three. So Larsman will stop the piracy here. Actually, no, it won't. It'll stop the piracy in Astarte, but not Distral. It's not big enough. It will also barely not cancel WoW here. Because hangars are plus 10, right? Yeah, trade protection plus 10. So they'll protect 10 ducats of trade. I mean, that's going to knock out most of the piracy here, but we might need to send like one corvette just on patrol. It's not going to be a huge deal. Last man's also going to do that. So we're going to need a pretty hefty set of corvettes going up and down here. Because that's a lot of piracy being generated. And then also Ross and Nostra, as we have seen from just now, where there's 40 piracy. So one thing that this overview really needs is to show how much piracy suppression is required to suppress the piracy. Although, reading this right now, I wonder if the piracy suppression needs to be the same as the trade route value. Because clearly the very small corvette fleet with their suppression of 20 was not cutting it. Oh no, I think Bacon Killer's piracy suppression of 156 just happens to be 156. Yeah, it just happens to be 156. That's irrelevant. So there is no indication of how much piracy suppression is required. Defense platforms do help with suppressing piracy, yes, but I don't rely on them too heavily because I really want to get off-world trading so that I can have the trade hubs generating trade themselves. Because I get huge bonuses to trade value. So I'd rather use my ships, which are paid for by the increased trade value. Because corvettes aren't expensive. And they are by far the most effective ship for protecting trade. I just need to set it up so that they can do so. Protecting trade. Oh, you're currently up here doing it. Right. Okay. Well, you are not... Actually, you're doing a fairly decent job of it. So the two the two trade protectors are doing fine here. I wonder if suppression equals the max piracy. So because we have 20 suppression, we're still over the max piracy. While here, where we also had 20, the max piracy is 39, so we were effectively 19 short. I bet that's how suppression works. So we basically need to add another 3 corvettes to this fleet. That's easily done. So you are based in Ross. You're going to be protecting trade here. And your fleet manager, I'm going to say, needs to be 5 Sniker. Actually, to be honest, you can just stay cheap. You're not meant to be fighting stuff. So you can just stay as Sniker 1s. I want 5 of them. Fleet's already at full strength. It clearly isn't. 2 or 5. What? The devs from Stardew Valley really split off from his publisher. Yeah, but from everything I've heard, that's been amicable. The publisher's still publishing the rights for the mobile. Trade hubs only increase the range you collect at, so if decent planning you can mix trade stations with hangar bays. True, but again, with off-world trading platforms, off-world trading companies, With off-world trading companies, trade hubs will also produce trade, not just collect it. Adik's Confederation. After following a long period of growing support from the Galactic Emancipation Initiative, the Adik's Confederations finally embraced the faction, adopting their core values and policies. As a result, they have become outwardly egalitarian. I wonder if that's instead of authoritarian. Yes! Which also means they've suddenly become a hell of a lot more friendly towards me. Because they're not authoritarian, they are not slavers anymore. That's very interesting. They're actually really close to becoming migration. In fact, as we build up trust, maximum trust of us is 75. Okay, so we still have another 30 odd points to go. So we are going to be able to migrate. We're going to get a migration treaty with these guys. Excellent, I'm well happy with that. Good move, guys.
A system has been surveyed.
Hey, Blondie! Hello to Blondie and all of Blondie's followers. How are you guys doing this evening? We are just in the process of sorting out our trade. We just had a big pirate uprising. We're quite spread out. We rely very heavily on our trade value for both consumer goods and energy credits, because I am rapidly getting rid of my consumer goods factories to replace them with tech, thanks to my insane trade value. I mean, even for every trade value producing any half trade, I'm producing 155 trade energy credits. Like, we have a huge amount of trade for the size. But we are having a lot of pirate problems as a result. And one thing which does not seem to be working properly is the ship manager. Your fleet is supposed to be a maximum level of 5. You were telling me the fleet is already at full strength. It is clearly not. I wonder if that's because these guys are in the process of upgrading. No. Or are you already building? Oh, you're already building. Okay, problem solved. IKEA failed. Hopefully East London's doing better. Well, East London did terribly. I had to start again because playing as a criminal overlord with a neighbour being a marauder, another neighbour being a machine cult, another neighbour being something else. I just couldn't trade with any of my neighbours. It was terrible. So I started again. We're playing as MordCorp now, who are they're a MegaCorp, but they're all about the trade value rather than the crime. We had a very similar level of luck. My first neighbour, Marauders. My second neighbour, a Xenophile Fallen Empire. But then we did just find the Adix Confederation. We found the Jazgav's Covenant, both of whom we are now trading with. And Adix just changed their ethics from authoritarian to egalitarian, which means that they've just become a heck of a lot closer. We discovered the Urbanic Unity, who is a hive mind, so we can't trade with them. And in a twist of amazing and quite hilarious fate, we also found the Viking Holdings Inc., who are the East London Viking crime family. So the guys that I was playing with are actually in this map as well, which I think is just perfect. But unfortunately, because they're a corporation, I can't trade with them. So these two I can't trade with, can't trade, and then these three I can. These are not friendly enough yet to do so, but these two are. And I'm trying to get migration packs at the moment because I think migration is going to be really quite potent for us. Especially because I want to get access to arid planets. A lot of these reds around us are arid. Did I say Xenophile Fallen Empire again? I meant Xenophobe.